Hello and welcome to Beyond the Deals podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle Simmons. Today I am here with a very special real estate agent. And if you know me, you know I'm not an agent. You know that I also am not the biggest fan of most real estate agents, but I am a fan of this one. Credence is here with me today. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I'm honored, especially with an intro like that. Thank you.
You stand out from the rest, and that's what really made me want to work with you, really. And you didn't know this, but I had already decided before I invited you to join Real Estate Dealmakers that you were the type of agent that I wanted in our community, just by talking deals with you a few times and just seeing how you interact, how on top of things you are, how you follow up, and how you have that like investor mindset that's not very common.
I appreciate that. That was something that was super interesting when I first started. You're like, I'll work with anybody, I'll do anything. And then calling on my first investment deal for a client, they answered the phone and they were like, "Saw, dude." And I was like, are you representing like 123 Main Street? He goes, "Yeah, bro." And I just remember like boiling, like, how did this surfer dude get a client to trust them with their house? It's all right.
So you learned, what did you learn from that experience? Like, because it was so outside the box of your normal interactions with other realtors, what did you take away from that?
It takes all kinds. And just because there's a lot of realtors doesn't mean that the competition's super fierce out there.
True that. Yeah. And how long have you been doing real estate?
So for 6 years, licensed for 4. I started doing wholesale stuff when I first started, but I just ran into like 3 really tough situations in a row of like, hey, my husband died. I can't afford the house. My kid has leukemia. My husband died. And then I had to like talk crap about their house to get it for the price that I wanted. And I was new and it just didn't feel great. So we had to pivot a little bit.
Interesting.
And now it's like, hey, we had our 17th kid and we need a bigger house, or
Different problems
Yeah.
that you're solving.
Right. A little more comfortable with.
That's really interesting that you took the route of going from wholesaling to being a licensed agent. Most of what I see is the opposite, is people that are licensed agents and maybe they're having a tough time. They're not finding as many clients as they would like to. And so then they see wholesaling as like this shiny object, right? That like you, because there's a level of motivation, right? With sellers that you're dealing with as a wholesaler. So it makes it easier in a sense because it's somebody that needs to sell.
Right.
Not and same with the investors that you're working with as a wholesaler, they need to buy to keep their money active. Whereas being a traditional agent dealing with your traditional buyers or sellers, there's not always that urgency or need.
Okay. So I haven't ran into too many agents that have made that switch to wholesaler. There's a lot of agents that are like, well, I'm also gonna wholesale. I've seen that a lot. But a lot of like the brand new wholesalers I've met have been like, I can do this without paying for a course or getting a license or anything. I can kind of just like hop on straight from the YouTube video I watched that taught me how to do this. And those are generally the wholesalers that are going to get you deals that aren't deals. But I had a slightly gray area entry into it. So my first mentor was this guy named Matt, and we'll leave last names out.
Okay.
But he was an appraiser. So he would show up, do the appraiser thing, have their contact info, and then if like they were just trying to figure out how much they could get for their house, or they could see like, hey, this might make a good flip. He'd have me call them with this like insider information and be like, oh yeah, well, I think, we could get you X amount for your house.
And it being less than what it was appraised for.
Right. Or we could put it on the market.
Uh-huh.
And he was also an agent. So he kind of taught me
how to like backdoor the.
Yeah. So it was a little gray for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was way better than what I was doing before. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. We can get into real estate. I'm all here for it.
Interesting. And what was your arrangement? So like, this is why I love real estate. There's just so many ways to do it. And there's so many ways to like learn it and to partner with people and just find a way in and then figure out where you want to live in it.
Yeah.
What was your arrangement with him? So like he would do the appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
You would call them and give them essentially investor numbers because you were a wholesaler. Mm-hmm. And then let's say that they're like, oh, I just want to list it. He would list it.
Yeah.
And then he would pay you what, like a referral fee or something?
If he listed it, that was just his.
Oh.
So the trade-off was it was a lead source that all I had to pay for was if they didn't want to wholesale it, then that was kind of how I paid him for those leads.
Oh.
Was, hey, now you got listings.
Oh, okay. And if they did want to wholesale it, all that profit was yours?
Then that was me.
Okay.
Yeah. It was interesting for sure. Something I definitely had to learn as I got more into this world was fighting more for myself and my commissions and my split of whatever we were doing. Mm-hmm. I remember there was a agent in like Tennessee that I had known for a while because they helped like family friends. Mm-hmm. And I knew somebody moving out there and I was like, oh, I'll just connect you guys real quick. This will be great.
Right.
And then
I'll get a referral fee. Right.
I didn't do any of the paperwork, anything for it. I was just like excited that I could help. And I went and told my mentor at the time and was like, yeah, you shouldn't have done any of that until they signed the paperwork.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, learning experience, you know, next time.
Taking care of people and having that, what I'm calling, and I say this with all the endearment, golden retriever energy that I myself also tend to have, where I'm like, I'm just excited to help someone. Like, oh, there's something I can do for you, like literally like a golden retriever. Like, okay, let me.
I got you.
Let me go do this for you, and it makes me happy. But yeah, learning how to like earn our stake in it too. I mean, helping them is earning our stake, but being willing to like stand in that and be like, hey, you know,
I deserve something.
Yeah. And also asking, like one of the things that I found to be helpful is like asking them, like, what do you think is fair? Instead of naming my number or my price.
Yeah.
I've learned to ask people, what do you think is fair?
Okay. That's a good nugget. I'm going to have to hold on to that.
And it does two things, right? One, you're having the conversation that may feel uncomfortable. For me, sometimes it feels uncomfortable to ask for money or to be paid for things.
Sure.
You're asking in a way that feels less uncomfortable, but also you're asking in a way that like tells you a lot about them.
Yeah. I like that. There's like the hostage negotiator. I can't remember.
Never Split the Difference, that book?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's so before real estate, I was just listening to all these audiobooks and I'd put them on 2 times because I thought that would like help the information get in faster. Not the way it works. But that one stuck with me and I remember that. And one of the like key points of that was asking somebody else to help you with the problem. Like, how am I supposed to do that? And that's another piece from that book that was super helpful.
Yeah, I like that. Something that I need to learn to apply also to deal makers is asking for referrals, asking like, you know, bring other people in, you know, like we want to grow this community. Yes, we want to remain intentionally small and a curated space. We don't want everyone here or verified. But I haven't been good about like that, like just asking, you know, like, hey, we really would like more members and to see more people showing up more often. Like, can you share or recommend someone? And I don't know why that's so difficult to do.
That's fair. I think you do a good job at it without realizing. So there's like two ways to get people to want to come to your events, right? It's one, you just straight ask them, like referrals, all of that. The other thing is you throw really good events and then people are like, man, that was awesome. Okay, I got to bring people to that. And I think that second part is more so what you're doing. And
I appreciate that.
I think it's working, but
Thank
you
you.
probably have a bigger view of that.
Yeah. It is working. It is. We would like to see more awesome people, you know, like you and just people who are really collaborative. And that's what I love about the community that we get to build together is we get to find people who are like us, and not everyone is like us. So
That's fair. The world would be a better place.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Like we just need a million Gabrielles. But you know, people that want to collaborate. Real estate is a very solo space.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to come and do things together.
I think that's a huge piece of the value that I get from my team is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely still ask Tony for advice. Like, hey man, this is what's going on. What do I do? What do I say? It's gotten a lot less over the last couple of years, which is good. It means I'm learning, right? But there is a certain camaraderie between just like having your people in it with you.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was last year I realized like I started calling him, and then at the end of the call I'd be like, ooh, sorry. I guess I realized I don't actually need help with anything. I just needed to tell you the crap that is happening right now. And he was like, yeah, it's cool. That's what I'm here for.
Just want to
Good
talk.
luck.
What's your team, by the way? Mention you that, yeah.
It's the Tony Garrity team. It's he is this animal. It is so I met Tony because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just going to do a lot of it. So it's the middle of the winter. There's this blizzard coming through, and I was like, hey man, can I do an open house for you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And
Were you at a different brokerage?
no, I was at the same one.
Okay.
My whole first year at York Castle, I was like, I'm not going to join the team. I had bounced around a couple different brokerages following teams. And I was like, I need to just like do me for a second. But then I ended up doing this open house for him, and it's cold and wet, and there's like one crazy person that shows up, and that's it. And I let him know. I was like, hey, this is what happened. And he's like, hey, I'm at this thing in Alabama of all places. When I get back in town, we should go out for lunch. And one of my favorite lines that he uses, I haven't even told him this, was he's like, hey man, even if you don't decide to join the team, like we could be friends.
Oh.
And I've actually used that line a lot with like coffees or buyer consults or whatever. Like, hey, even if we don't work together, like
We can be friends.
at least we could be friends.
Yeah.
You know?
We still hang out sometimes.
Yeah. It just like really lowers your guard in
Because you don't
like
feel
a
like you're
weird
being
way.
sold,
Yeah.
right? Like, and you're not, you know, like I'm sure there's sincerity behind that. You know, it's not necessarily like a tactic that's false, but you're saying like, yeah, if you want to use me, work with me, join my team, great. If not, like that's okay too.
Yeah. Then you just move on. I think that's the cool part of entrepreneurship is that you're getting to do something that ideally you like to do. Otherwise, if you don't like doing it, you can go get hired and probably paid more to not do it, you know?
And hate that probably.
Oh, absolutely. But then you get to pick and choose the people that you're around and who you work with. And I like that aspect a lot now that I have more of a choice. It's not like, yeah, I'll work with anybody. Like, whatever it takes, we'll do it.
Because you were just so hungry when you were getting in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you do prior? So before being an agent, you were doing wholesaling, dabbling in that.
Yeah.
What did you do prior to that?
Okay, so I started out going to college for civil engineering in Fort Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thought I was going to build bridges. Found out it was more like metaphorical bridges that I wanted to build. And the whole 5 years I was flinging dough, like working at a pizza place,
Mm-hmm.
and I was good.
Yeah.
Like I could do tricks
the
with the
star.
dough, and yeah, it was so much fun. I do miss that job.
Yeah.
The pay obviously wasn't as great, but
But you also got paid in pizza.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was great for bulking up,
Mm-hmm.
And then after all 4 years of not building a single bridge, I was like, well, this isn't what I want to do. And for like 3 months, I worked at Xfinity, like running cable, shaving buttons off old lady remotes. I saw breaking stuff. And I met Matt,
Mm-hmm.
ran cable for him. And I remember talking to him for like 3-4 hours straight. The job's done. My boss is calling me like, hey, dude, like, are you okay? Did they kidnap you? Blah, 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 whatever. And his house was like right down the street. My boss probably could have came and checked on it, whatever. And at the end of it, Matt was like, hey, man, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. If you want to get into real estate, let me know. And he sent me his card, and
Nice.
the rest is kind of history. I pretty much copied exactly what he did. Like I went through appraisal school,
Became an appraiser.
started doing all of that. And then
That's an excellent way into real estate, by the way. That I've
yeah.
only ever known one other person personally who became an appraiser and then became an investor. And they actually taught me like how to run my numbers, as a wholesaler.
Yeah, that's
how to run my numbers. And when you're looking at it from an appraiser standpoint, like you're going to typically be a lot more spot on looking at what the ARV is than most others would be, because they don't have that appraiser lens.
That's true. I did have to learn there's a big difference in between appraised value and market value. So I remember the first listing appointment I ever went in, and basically didn't sell myself or their house or the brokerage. I was like, this is why you need an appraiser to sell your house. And they're like, okay, cool, dude. You're going to be a great agent one day.
What?
Which is like a bittersweet thing to hear from a nice old lady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you did insurance for a while, right?
Yeah. Getting started in real estate's odd because you're just planting seeds and you don't really know when they're all going to pop up. And then there's really fun times when they all pop up at the same time. You're like, oh, this is why I do this. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
But while all of that's building, you got to figure out what you're going to do in the meantime.
Right. Are you going to eat? Are you going to pay your bills?
Right. And that's why I wanted to be an appraiser. Was I wanted something that was market knowledge rather than being like a bartender or something else, right?
Right.
Nothing against bartenders, but and 2022 rates jumped up to like 7%. So nobody's refinancing to a 7% rate. So I went from doing like 4 appraisals a day, which was exhausting for a whole other reason.
Wow.
To doing like 4 a month.
Whoa.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
So
huge hit.
yeah. So in between there, the team that I was on, the leader of that was like, hey man, we're all gonna get our insurance license. And then when we sell properties, we're gonna have them get a quote from us. That way
when you do an
we can
appraisal
kind
on
of
a
build
property,
this.
you're gonna
For the agents,
Oh,
whenever
okay.
they like help somebody buy or sell or whatever.
Gotcha.
And the guy, his idea was he was going to build like this empire of like, we're all going to be lenders and insurance agents and appraisers. Like we were just going to
One-stop shop.
Yeah. Which I have since stopped subscribing to. It is so much easier to be good at what you do when you do one thing.
A thing. Yep.
But I had my insurance license and I was like, all right, I'm just going to hit this hard. And I actually ended up appraising this guy, Caleb Atchison's house. And he owned an insurance agency. So I'm like running through his house, like looking through his closet, measuring stuff, you know, and I can hear him on the phone and he's talking about like a transaction, but he's talking about it weird. I'm like, what? So I finish up and I ask him like, hey man, what do you do? He goes, oh, I run an insurance agency. So I was like, well, appraising ain't going great. I've got my license and I'm still waiting for all these people that are like, yeah, we're going to buy in 2 years.
Right.
Doesn't help me a whole lot right now. And he was like, yeah, we can talk insurance. And that, for a short little bit, it was great. Like the insurance financial model is fantastic. It's based off residuals.
Yeah. So you went and joined his team, his
I
company.
joined his agency.
Okay.
Yeah. And they taught me everything I knew about actually selling insurance. Kind of the same way how the real estate exam doesn't actually teach you how to sell real estate. It's just, hey, this is how you stay out of jail.
Right.
So for a little bit there, it was great. And then I started getting real estate clients. And I realized like I would get a real estate client and they'd want to buy like a little $200,000 condo or something. And I'd be so stoked to go look at 20 condos that day. Like, yeah, we're going to figure this out together. And then I'd get an insurance client and I'd be like, crap. Now I have to quote this guy across all 12 of these carriers. And then I got to make this video. And like, the money was better, but I didn't
You didn't
enjoy
love it
the same way.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was a little long-winded there.
Totally great. And so in that moment, like while you're experiencing that, ultimately you came to the decision that you wanted to step away from making more money consistently with being an insurance agent to going back to focusing more full-time in real estate agentings.
Yeah, absolutely. Caleb was an amazing mentor for insurance. He had been here for like 20 years doing insurance, and like he was that guy that would bring donuts and bagels to the same lending shop every day until somebody was like, all right, dude, here's a client, figure it out. And then he just kept killing it. And then Tony, doing what Caleb did, you could replicate. Like, you just had to work really hard all the time, forever. And I think he's still doing that. But Tony, you'd ask him, like, hey, man, how do you do what you do? And he'd be like, I don't know, just talk to people. And, like, it's kind of nice to hear. It's also incredibly frustrating. You're like, I talk
How
to
do
people.
I do that? How do I do that the same way? But he's just using his God-given gifts to connect with people, to build friendships. And it sounds like that works for him. That's how he's able to build his clientele and his team.
Oh, yeah. It was really frustrating starting out because he would come into the team meetings and be like, hey, I got this new client at the gas station and we're going to go buy this $1 million property. And you'd be like, do you know how many networking events I've gone to and cold calls and like all of these things?
Right.
And you're just like running into random people. But then it starts happening to you and you're like, I just talk to people.
Yeah. And I think whether you're a licensed agent or you're doing wholesaling or you're doing insurance, like anything, I think that is like a thing that people don't utilize enough of and like it really is a easy way to get clients, to close deals, to make money without having to spend money doing so. Like the only thing you're spending is your time, which is valuable.
Yeah.
But you're spending your time and you're also getting the opportunity to connect with someone. And like that goes so far. That's how I built my community like over the years. And people have asked me that too. Like how I did 15 wholesale transactions my first year.
Yeah.
43 my second year. And people are like, how? Like, you must be spending a fortune. You must. No, I'm spending time connecting with people.
Yeah.
I would go to networking events constantly, like pretty much every day of the week. I was at a networking thing.
Right. Well, there's always one.
Yeah. And different types too. You know, like it could be a freaking mom's club for what, like just random things that I'd be like, oh yeah, let me go and support this person because I know that person. Let me go support and just have some regular conversations. Doesn't even have to be real estate related, you know, and you'd be surprised how far those things go. And then, yeah, then you're planting all those seeds.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's better when it's not real estate related.
Yeah. Because you connect with people, you're building a friendship, building real rapport, and they'll remember you. So even if they aren't your, and that almost never I just thought of something. That almost never happens when we're prospecting, when we're cold calling, when we're texting, when we're right. Like it almost never happens that the person that we connected with on the other end of that phone is going to refer us to someone else without doing business with us first, right?
Right.
That almost never happens.
No.
But in building relationships and connecting with people, it happens. You know, you connect with someone at a lunch at View House and you guys have no opportunity to do business together. They don't own a house, they're not buying a house, whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
But because you had a great conversation, you got to build a relationship with this person. And then now they're going to go talk about you to someone else.
Right.
And then boom, now there's your client that you didn't have to spend even money.
You didn't take them out to coffee.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, I'm trying to think, there's like a phrase for that. Like, well, infinite return, definitely.
There's something to that.
Something else. I'll think of it.
We'll think of it. I did realize, like, probably just over this last year, I just stopped talking real estate with people. Mm-hmm. Like, not like this. We've talked a lot of real estate. This is an awful example. But if I was meeting somebody for the first time or even the second, third, fourth time, I would be like, all right, man, tell me about your life. Like, who are you?
Right.
And they'd start asking those same questions back. And I tell them about how I grew up and my friends and my family and what I did that week and the church events and whatever.
Right.
And what was really funny is, like, in the last 5 minutes, they'd be like, man, this was really great.
Oh, yeah,
I also need to buy a house. You do that, right?
Right.
Like, yes, and I'm so excited. But now we have to schedule a whole other meeting just to talk about that. Mm-hmm. So it's great. Mm-hmm. And it's more fulfilling that way because you actually get to know the person.
Yeah.
And then looking at houses with your buddies is way more fun than looking at houses for people you're like, man, I really need this sale. Mm-hmm. I don't like you.
Right. And they maybe don't like you either, right? Like maybe they're uptight and stuff because they don't feel comfortable too if you don't get that chance to build that rapport. Like,
yeah.
Nobody really wants to be in those situations. I think most of us would always choose like we would rather build a relationship and build a friendship with people that we're doing business with.
100%.
Sometimes we have, speaking from personal experience, sometimes we have experiences that make us think that maybe we shouldn't, like, do both, that we shouldn't have a friendship and a working relationship.
Should keep things separate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I do see some benefit to that in some cases. I did, but I since have adopted more of the mindset of, like, I want to love the people that I do business with.
Yeah.
And if that's not the case, why would I want to work with you?
100%. And two things, the like cold calling prospecting clients are generally the ones that you feel that contention with, where they're like, man, he was selling me and I bought and now I'm here and we're going through it. Mm-hmm. So you should do that as a professional, like, prospect, but I've really brought that way lower on my list of things that I do to get business. Mm-hmm. and my business has grown. So
That's saying a lot.
yeah. The other thing is, when I was growing up, my dad was like best friends with the people he worked with. And they were like Uncle Juan, Uncle Pito, Uncle John. Like, these are people that became like family friends. And he was military, so they like went to war together, and that's gonna like build a pretty deep relationship pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I miss that, like where the weekends you would spend going and you're like having this barbecue with all of these other families and their kids, and these adults are drinking a little bit and then giving you like weird girl advice that they probably shouldn't. Like, it's just, it's a family instead of like punching the clock and being like, well, all right, we did that one transaction. I'm never going to see you again.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And we're in a space in real estate where like that is the common way to go about it, is that it's transactional.
Yeah.
It's even most agents who get repeat clients or repeat customer, like repeat transactions is from the same client, but usually like just when that client is buying or selling. You know, there's not really much in between where you see like a relationship being carried on. It's just like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to you in 6 years since I bought my house. We're ready to sell and buy another one. Do you want to help? And not that there's anything wrong with that, but just some of us value more of the like ongoing, closer relationship. And I will also acknowledge how like doing it this way, at least from what I've noticed from most, we tend to make a little less money. Because I think we spend more time talking to people, and we spend more time getting to know people and listening for an hour and a half to a conversation that really is not going to be fruitful in any business way. Yeah. And that for me is like is a fair trade-off. I'm okay making less money, doing it in a way that I enjoy, which is building relationships.
100%.
Than being like purely transactional and like purely just like, am I making money off this conversation? No, I don't want to be having it. You know, I just,
there's also no way to know, like,
if it could be fruitful at some point.
Yeah. Well, I think people just want to be heard, right? At the end of the day. And they will pick you over another agent because you sat there and listened for an hour and a half about their emu farm and the coyotes getting in, like all of the nonsense that you have no idea anything about. You can't help them.
Right.
You're not ever going to open an emu farm, so it doesn't help you. But they can see that you're engaged, that you're asking questions. And they're like, man, like that's the kind of person that I want to be around.
Yes.
And I've only made more money from doing it this way. I wasn't making a whole lot before, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a time thing. But
what do you think has made you? What in your life has shaped you to be this way? To be someone who values relationships the way that you do?
When I was a kid, my younger brother, Jaden, I can't even remember what he did, but I remember going to my dad and being like, that's it. He's done. This is where Jaden and I become estranged. I'm never talking to him again.
Wow.
Yeah. So then last week, my dad told me, it's way long ago, and he goes, no, dude, this is the only guy that you're going to have throughout your entire life, no matter where you go, friends that you make, significant others, whatever. This is the only dude. Right. You don't get to decide. You're not going to be friends with him. And then we moved around a ton as a kid. So every time you move, it's kind of like do or die. Like you got to assimilate. You got to go in. You got to be the person that is going to, like if there's an emotional exchange in a conversation of either keeping things very surface level and safe or being like, hey, this is what's going on with my parents. How are your parents?
Right. Connecting on a deeper level.
Right. I just got really comfortable giving that part out. And then church has been huge. Like, there's always a point where it's like, how was your week? What did you do? And I go to a lot of church stuff. Like, hey, I can tell you there was this funny joke the pastor said. It doesn't even have to be actually about the sermon. It can be like, my pastor's bald and his daughter has a full head of hair. And he was like, yeah, she get her hair from me. Like, just little things.
Right.
But the fact that you're vulnerable enough to share something as deep as your faith with somebody off of like a first meeting, they're like, okay, well, I could talk to you about like this thing that I probably wouldn't talk to other people about.
Right.
And I've had that reciprocated a lot.
Like, because you set the tone for it.
Oh,
when you lead with that. Yeah. So going to so many different schools, finding that like you have your brother and he's always going to be there and you guys are always going to be close and know each other truly. But going to so many different schools and finding that like that's the way to build friendships is by getting vulnerable, by sharing. Is that what I gather? Like that's what has helped you like really get good at just being able to do that consistently?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the friends that I made, like long-term friendships, were people that were like, oh, he's vulnerable. Okay, I'm going to share this with him. And I was able to help them like reconcile with a friend or to ask a girl out or something. And they're like, all right, Credence is cool. We can hang out for the next 3 years.
Right.
It works.
Yeah. And you also are something that I appreciate about you. Like we're building a friendship and like getting closer and getting to know each other and doing things in business together more. But you're also not afraid to like lean into more of the personal side, you know, and you even the other day I sent you that text that I was at a bar and a picture of my beer. The point was less about the drink and more about like the menu, you know, so you could see where I was at, a place that we both like to eat.
Yeah.
And your reply was like, oh, you're having a drink, you know, question mark. And I really love and appreciate that because even though we work together to some degree, you know, like we do things in business together, you are holding me accountable, you know, to something that is a personal thing that I've shared. I'm sober, I don't drink, and you're holding me accountable to that. And that for me is also like being vulnerable too, because you don't know what the response is going to be from the other party, right? Like I could have been like, that's none of your damn business.
You definitely could. Yeah. And there was a little piece of me that when you said, thanks for holding me accountable, that I was like, oh man, is there a bite behind that? Like, leave me alone, dude. I know what I'm doing.
Not at all. It was genuinely like, thank you. Like that actually means a lot that you're willing to hold me accountable to something that is a very personal but meaningful thing that I think the people that are around me, that's the way that they show that they care, is by holding me accountable.
Yeah. Well, it's something I respect about you. Like, I, like a lot of people, I drank a ton in college. And I remember it getting to a point where like I felt like I couldn't talk to people unless I was drinking. Like there's always this weird moment with people on campus where you're like walking past each other and you're both like, I've met you, but we were both really drunk. I don't remember your name.
Oh my gosh.
And eventually you figure out as an adult, like, hey, that's probably not the best way to build relationships. And it took a while for me to kind of get over that. And then like 2-3 years ago, my mentor, Tony, was like, hey, so me and my boyfriend, we're going to do dry January. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, it is. I'm going to put you in this group chat with us. And now we're all doing dry January. And
just give you no option. Like, yeah, you're gonna do it too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Is it because you were drinking a lot and he wanted to like kind of help you slow down?
I'm not sure
Okay.
what his other motives were. I definitely wasn't drinking as much as I used to, but I would have like business meetings and have like a drink or two while we're sitting there talking about whatever.
Right.
But then after January, I remember like February 1, I was like, all right, we're going to do this business meeting. I'm going to have drinks like I used to. Like, this is going to be great. And I had like one or two. And then we like stood up to leave and it had destroyed my tolerance.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, all right. So you have a great time. Get home safe. I'm going to hang out here for a second. And since then, it's like slowly going away. Like just like the need to drink. And I've looked at people in my life that have gone sober and seen like, wow, she's like really cool and she's not drunk. Like this conversation is good just because like there's a good person on the other side of it.
Right.
Not because we're on the same wavelength of tequila or whatever.
Right. And it is an adjustment though. Like I do still struggle sometimes. Also, to clarify, the beer that I had going back was NA because I didn't mention that. It was non-alcoholic beer. It is still an adjustment though. Like being sober and trying to have fun really is difficult, but we do it, you know, and I'm not as fun as I was. Like that I'm just okay with. I'm like, I
don't believe that, but okay.
It's true.
I've found that I don't like going to bars as much as I used to. Like if the only activity is that we're drinking, I'm like, all right.
Right.
It's all right.
Right. And then again, like the space that we're in, real estate, and especially like working with a lot of investors, it's a very common thing to drink, you know, and to drink consistently and maybe drink a lot.
Yeah.
And so to be in this space and to have the discipline to say no to it, for me, it makes me a stronger, better person. And that carries over then into everything that I do and into work, into my relationships, into showing up for the kids in my life. And it's the thing with entrepreneurship, working for ourselves, doing business with people, most of us all come to the same conclusion that like it's actually less about the work. It's less about the transactions. It's less about making the money. It's so much more about like personal and character development because of what we learn through trying to work for ourselves, trying to build a business, trying to figure things out on our own or even with partners. Like it just ends up being so much more about like who we are and how we show up.
Who you become.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think has been the hardest thing that you've had to overcome since you've been working for yourself, which has been a long time? You've primarily been in like jobs or positions where you eat based on what you kill, right? So what's been the hardest thing that you've had to overcome in this?
I don't know, it kind of sounds silly now, but when you're working like a normal W-2 job, like you punch in, punch out, and you have somebody else telling you like, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z to move forward, like to get paid, to not get fired by the end of the day. And I remember when I first started, like appraisals were originally salary. So we would do all this work and we would get paid a salary. And I was like, okay, this is sweet. Like it was still, hey, do what you're told and you'll get paid kind of thing. And then that slowly shifted into like, okay, now we're going to pay you X per appraisal or something. The hardest part was realizing that I am the boss now.
You have to tell you what to do.
I have to tell me what to do. And that joker doesn't listen sometimes, man. And that was tricky. And then getting to a point where I mean, we've all been through dry seasons where you tighten the belt a little bit, and then like the roller coaster of real estate.
Yeah.
I remember getting to a point where I'd leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning so that I could go to the gym, and then I'd shower there, and then I'd go to the first coffee meeting, and then I'd be running around all day, and then I'd get home at like 7 or 8 after networking events or whatever. And then being like, I'm not done. Like I have to keep going. And it's been finding that balance on the other side as well of like, nope, it's okay. Boss says it's time to clock out. You need to like take a second to be with your family or whatever, you know?
Or just do something you enjoy, or sit around and do nothing, or watch a movie, you know, or like, I
enjoy what you're working for.
Yeah. I struggle with that still. And generally work from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. Take a break to go to the gym sometimes.
Sure.
And maybe have a meal with somebody. But even then, usually there's some business conversations that are being had. So yeah, that definitely is a struggle. And then like now I'm to the point in my business and real estate deal makers where I'm like, guys, my business partner, and then we've hired other people to join us now. And I'm like, guys, actually, you tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I've been leading this and we're doing things and it's been great. And like, but I realize that I really don't like routine. I really don't like there's so many parts that are necessary to successfully run a business that just aren't natural for me. And so unless I'm being told to do it and being held accountable, I'm probably not going to do it because I don't have to.
Right.
You know? But I also realize that like I do want to run a successful company that is bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so that means I have to bring in the pieces of the puzzle that are going to create that. They're going to tell me what to do and are going to hold me accountable so that we can grow.
Yeah. If you don't hold yourself accountable, what I have found is that eventually the money will hold you accountable. Like, I remember the beginning of last year, I was like, oh man, I've got like this guy, whatever. Like I had this list in my head of all of these clients that were like, in February, April, whatever, we're going to reach out to you. So January, I'm like, oh dude, my year's set. I'm just going to like hang out, enjoy this. And then life happened to them. Like there's divorces or they move, new jobs. Like for whatever reason, they all kind of like pittered out.
Ooh.
And then you're like, oh man, okay, so now I have to like restart this engine and get it going all over again. And trying to rebuild momentum is kind of a pain. But like we've got a new guy on our team named Saba, and I love him. He's a good old country boy from Alabama, and he's just like so excited to learn. Like he's like, all right, let me put my hands on it. I want to get in. And the other part of like being the boss is you have to know what to do. So the worst, like I remember the worst day was being like, okay, I don't have anything to do today. I'm going to do real estate. But I didn't have any clients. I didn't have anybody to follow up with. Like I just didn't know what to like actually do.
Right.
Like I set the time aside for it, but I still needed to know where to go. And that's the structure that I've built over time is there's always at least one thing you can do every single day to like put your realtor hat on. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing.
And part of what you do, and again, why I appreciate you and you stand out from most agents, part of what you do is you work with investor clients and even clients, like you have clients that are ready to go and do a transaction with you, even though you haven't, from my knowledge, you haven't closed any commercial or multifamily deals yet, right?
Right.
But you, well, I don't want to speak for you. How have you gotten to a point where you have these clients that are like, yeah, Credence is my guy. Like, yeah, where he's looking for me for commercial, for multifamily, and like, you know, you're able to keep these people in your back pocket, if you will. Like,
Yeah.
do you have exclusive buyer agreements with them?
So I have exclusive buyer agreements with some of the investors.
Mm-hmm.
And then before we'll go look at a property, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna like ask you to marry me on the first date.
Mm-hmm. Let's
I'm
date a
just
while
gonna
and
say,
see.
hey, will you come with me to this place?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get like an exclusive agency just for that address.
Mm.
And then there's not a lot of agents that are willing to spend their time doing that.
Right.
Not that it takes a long time to draw that contract up. Like it's not very lengthy.
Right.
It basically says, if you're going to buy this property, I showed it to you and I'm going to represent you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cool with that? Otherwise I don't want to go,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is fair.
Yeah.
So being willing to do that, I think is the right first step with a lot of clients.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, there's a lot of times where you put in 2-3 offers, especially on like really good flip deals,
Mm-hmm.
and you just don't get them.
Right.
Like there's somebody else that maybe runs their numbers wrong or sees something that we didn't and they're able to offer more.
Right.
Or they're all cash and you really want to do this with financing or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So being kind of the emotional coach through that, of like, hey man, it's all right. This is normal. And if you weren't upset right now, I'd be a little scared of you because like you were just about to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and now you're not. If you were cool with that, you'd be a scary individual. And that kind of helps.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, you hear a lot of emu farm stories of just whatever is going on in their lives that can have an impact on, hey, I'm not going to be able to buy a flip because my mom's in the hospital or something. And I have to spend money on that.
Right.
And that is business related and that does make sense. And you're like, okay, sweet. Like we can talk about this and it feels like I'm getting paid for this conversation kind of thing.
Mm. But yeah, and you don't get like, you're not so tied to the transaction itself.
Right.
You know? And I think that makes a big difference is if you're the type of agent that's like, how am I getting paid on this? You know, then you're going to do less typically because one, that's a crappy attitude to have. But
Right.
two, because then you don't have you have loyalty from these people. They have options. They don't have to work with you. They don't have to keep looking at deals with you,
Yeah.
you know, after they don't come to fruition. Like they could just be like, oh, you know, Credence sucks. I'm going to go find somebody else that's going to help me get a deal.
Yeah.
But it sounds like oftentimes that's not the case. You know, you have people that are like, I want to work with you, you know, and yeah, we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And going back to the commercial and like multifamily stuff that you're dabbling in, you are of the mindset, from what I've gathered, that you don't try to represent yourself as something that you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you're not coming to these investors or buyers and being like, yeah, I know everything there is to know about buying multifamily property.
Right.
You're like, actually, you probably know more about this than I do, but I would love to help you, you know,
yeah.
because of my network and some of the opportunities I come across. Let me use what I have in my toolbox, use what you have, and, you know, we'll put some deals together. And I know we have explored some multifamily deals together and
Yeah.
they haven't come to fruition. They haven't closed.
But they will.
Yeah, they will. And we both get to learn so much along the way.
Yeah.
And that is different in this space. Real estate agents oftentimes like to, because they have a license, represent themselves as, oh, I'm the professional, so I know everything.
that's not 100% their fault.
Oh, is that what they teach you guys at school?
They don't teach you anything at school. No, there are a lot of trainings where they push this idea of like, hey, you have to call everybody and then you have to present yourself as the expert because that's who they want to work with. And there is truth to that. Like, you don't have all of these people telling you to do that without it working some of the time. But behind that, you actually have to be the expert if you're going to tell people that.
Right.
So especially with multifamily, and how I started dabbling in that, it's generally a longer transaction. And I will be tired of lying and putting a face on for months at a time. And I do not believe that we could get to the end of the transaction with you still believing I'm the expert to the capacity that I lied to you about over all this time. Like, there's just going to be things that you Google or ChatGPT or whatever and be like, hey, so what is this? And I'm going to be like, let me find out for you. But if I told you I know everything and then I'm constantly having to go do my own research, like, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
You know?
And the same is true with wholesalers, right? Like, when I used to coach wholesalers, that was one of the things that I was like, guys, you're new. You joined this team for a reason.
Yeah.
You're new. You actually don't know. You just don't know. That's okay. Embrace that. Actually lead with that. You know, when you're having conversations with sellers, you don't need to be the expert.
Right.
You're there to solve a problem.
Right.
So just hear and understand what the problem is, and then let them know that you have resources. You have people you can go ask these questions that can give them great solutions. That person is not you yet because you don't know how to run the numbers.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
If you lie your way into it, it makes it worse.
100%. I think it goes back to people just want to be heard. Like, if you can show somebody, hey, I understand your problem.
Yeah.
And I do have a way to fix it. Even if I don't know like all the nuts and bolts of that, I've got XYZ person behind me.
Right.
And I think that's the best advice for like any brand new agent is to find a mentor. Like, Tony is not a normal team lead at all. He cares way more, probably too much. And I remember like the first 3 months, it was a lot of like, Tony, I don't know how I'm going to do this, man. Like, it's tight. I don't know what to do. And he was like, all right, I'm going to put training wheels on you. Like, every call, every text, every email, you're going to send it to me. I'm going to tell you how I would respond. And then we're going to run with it.
Nice.
And team leads don't do that.
No.
Like,
They don't want to spend the time.
No. And it's a total gamble. And that's why I said he probably cares too much because sometimes it doesn't pan out.
Right.
Like, you give and give and give. And then the guy's like, all right, I think I know enough. I'm going to go to this other team now.
Right.
And you're like, dang, man. Like, you just, no loyalty. Okay, cool.
So yeah, having a mentor and I think probably like just being willing to do things outside the box, you know, like being open to things you don't know, you're not familiar with, and just learning, connecting with people who do know, building a community of resources that you can lean on. Like you said, like that's super valuable as an agent to be able to do more and offer people more solutions.
I mean, that's essentially what you've built here is just a
idea.
really big toolbox of, hey, if I don't know how to do this, I've got somebody in here that does.
Yeah.
And if I don't, you probably shouldn't do it. I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah. That's the idea. That's what we're building with Dealmakers. And I'm grateful to have you a part of it and all the ways that you contribute, and you tell people about us all the time and send people our way. And I love that we are helping build our tribe. And that's really what we're what we're looking to do is build some more of that space with like-minded people. What do you, anyone who's watching and wants to connect with you,
Yeah.
what areas of Colorado do you serve? Like, I mean, generally, in Real Estate Dealmakers, you're designated to Colorado Springs, but
Right.
of course you can help people pretty much anywhere. So what areas of Colorado?
The furthest north I've gone was Erie, and then the furthest south was Pueblo.
Okay.
I've got some GCs and stuff that have thought about doing flips up in Fort Collins, and I don't have any like old college buddies up there anymore. But when I first started, that was like, yeah, I'll go hang out with my buds and we can look at houses up there. But it's probably getting to be a little too far north at this point.
Okay. What type of clients would you like to work with primarily?
I don't want to sound too like cliche, but just like good people. I feel like I've built my business more so on investor clients looking for fix and flips or Airbnbs or rentals. But some of my favorite clients are people that are just traditional, like moving in from out of state, or they just got married, and I love those. Like, I'm a 27-year-old single dude, and I've been invited to like 4-year-old birthday parties, and like I've got no reason to be there. Like,
But you go and you have a good time.
oh yeah, I'm just drinking beer with the dads, and they're like, "Which one's yours?" And you're like, "I haven't decided yet. That one's kind of cute." Like, so
You're like, I actually just met these people last week, but yeah.
right. So I don't know. Like, those are the kind of clients that mean the most to me. And if I could have 1 million Ryans, then that's all I would do.
Okay. So everyone that's good, that wants to build relationships and you can have good conversation, good connections with,
Yeah,
they should reach out to you.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. If somebody is wanting to reach out to you, how would they find you?
Yeah. You can call me at 903-732-7247, or my email is credence@yourcastle.com.
And your area code is 903 Texas.
Yeah.
Don't you know, Colorado folks, we all mess with Texans or Californians.
Yeah. It was a choice, and maybe a little sunken cost fallacy at this point, but I have to get all new business cards.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
just where I got my first phone.
Texas phone number, but Credence is here in Colorado. He's our Colorado Springs designated investor-friendly agent. Awesome person to work with. Awesome person to have part of our community. And you guys will see more of him if you stay up to date with our videos. And yeah, anything else you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I just really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's it for today's episode. Until next time.